We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a big update regarding the status of former WWE Women's Division star Eva Marie, because as most of you are likely aware, rumors have continued to go around over the past several months regarding Eva Marie returning to WWE in 2021, and new information has been revealed that Eva Marie's return will be occurring very soon. It was recently leaked that Eva Marie was backstage on the December 14th episode of Monday Night Raw, and Vince had contemplated having Eva make her return on the show, but later decided against doing it, with one source stating that Vince wants Eva Marie's return to be a big deal and needs to be timed perfectly. A new behind-the-scenes rumor has indicated that Eva Marie could very well be making her WWE return on the upcoming Raw Legends Night show this coming week, and considering rumors suggest that Vince wants Eva's return to be a big deal, fans should expect All Red Everything to receive quite a big push when she does come back within the next few weeks. A fairly big return that had occurred during last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown was Sonya Deville, who hasn't been seen in WWE since she had lost to Mandy Rose in the Loser Leaves WWE match at the SummerSlam 2020 pay-per-view event. One of our sources has mentioned that Sonya Deville's SmackDown return last night was kept under wraps, and most superstars and backstage officials didn't even know that Sonya was going to be coming back during last night's show, aside from Vince McMahon and a few other key executives, which was reportedly to add the surprise factor to Sonya's return. With Sonya Deville going to be featured on Friday Night SmackDown moving forward, and her former best friend turned rival Mandy Rose is a Raw superstar, WWE have unofficially ended the feud between Sonya and Mandy. And apparently Vince does have some pretty big plans for Sonya Deville following her return, despite the fact that the return did not seem as momentous or big as WWE could have done for a star who was gone for over 4 months. But regardless, we have been told that Sonya Deville could very well be an upcoming challenger for Sasha Banks' SmackDown Women's Championship. There's no doubt that many wrestling fans were truly happy when Big E managed to win the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn last week on SmackDown, and on last night's edition of the Blue Brand, the new Intercontinental Champion Big E faced off against King Corbin in a singles non-title match, which later turned into a tag team match between Big E and Apollo Crews, facing off against Sami Zayn and King Corbin. And when the dust had settled after Big E and Apollo Crews won the hard-fought match, it was revealed that Big E will be defending his Intercontinental Championship for the first time since winning it next week on SmackDown against Apollo Crews. According to a new backstage report, while WWE planned for Big E to retain his Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews next week on SmackDown, in his first official title defense, Vince is considering to have Apollo Crews turn heel after losing this match, and proceed to attack Big E after Langston tries to show some class and applaud Crews for his efforts. We have been told that Vince feels Apollo Crews still has lots of potential in WWE, but is simply too bland and generic as a babyface to warrant any kind of a significant push in the company, and McMahon reportedly feels like Apollo Crews taking on a meaner disposition as a heel would instantly boost his relevance and marketability, especially considering Apollo Crews is already a fantastic wrestler and has a great look, and would be a great first feud for Big E as Intercontinental Champion, which could certainly result in Apollo Crews eventually winning the Intercontinental title from Big E later this year, perhaps as early as the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view, when it is rumored that Big E will defend his Intercontinental Championship in a fatal 4-way match against Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn, and King Corbin, so that Big E can move up the card into the Universal Championship scene. Let us know your thoughts on WWE planning for Apollo Crews to turn heel and set his sights on Big E's Intercontinental Championship. And do you agree with Vince that Apollo would have more potential in WWE as a heel over a generic babyface? Friday Night SmackDown opened up this week with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns cutting a promo, essentially highlighting the fact that he's great and helps everyone he comes into contact with. That certainly including Paul Heyman, whom Reigns stated that he saved from being cast aside in WWE, and helping Jey Uso reach levels in his WWE career last year that didn't seem possible prior to when he got involved with the new heel monstrous Roman Reigns. However, not surprisingly, Kevin Owens would proceed to interrupt this promo by Roman Reigns, and a match was later booked between Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. Well, Kevin Owens ended up getting the win over Jey Uso after a brawl of a match, and Kevin continued on the attack of Jey Uso after the match had ended, trying to get Roman Reigns' attention to come down to the ring and face the prize fighter. But things certainly did not end well for Kevin Owens last night on SmackDown when it was all said and done, as this week's edition of the Blue Brand shockingly ended with Roman Reigns throwing Kevin Owens from the LED board area, with Kevin falling through tables to close out the show. Today, the WWE revealed that Kevin Owens has suffered some fairly serious injuries after what had occurred last night on SmackDown, with WWE doctors revealing that Kevin Owens has bruised kidneys and a spinal contusion. While the bulk of this is certainly a storyline injury that will most likely see Kevin Owens gone from WWE for a couple of weeks, much like how they did with the Bayley and Sasha Banks storyline last year, a backstage rumor has indicated that Kevin Owens actually suffered from a real minor back injury after taking this seemingly hard bump through the tables, thus making the time off for Kevin Owens a welcome sight for sure. Without question, once Kevin Owens does return after his storyline injuries, fans should definitely expect Kevin Owens to get another opportunity at Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, likely at the 2021 Royal Rumble, and Owens will reportedly have some stipulations for the upcoming title match that will definitely better his odds at winning the Universal title. Last night's edition of SmackDown was supposed to be the show that Seth Rollins would make his return on after having been gone from WWE to spend time with Becky Lynch and their newborn baby daughter Rue, because WWE had been advertising that Rollins was going to be coming back, only for the company at the last minute to completely get rid of any tweets or advertisements related to Seth Rollins' announced return. And last night on SmackDown, Seth Rollins was nowhere to be seen or found. We have been told that Vince decided against having Rollins return last night, and is instead planning for both Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to return on the same night at the 2021 Royal Rumble, and by all means, both are two favorites to win the respective Royal Rumble match. We now have our main story featured in this video, and it is regarding the new surprising rumors and speculation that Drew McIntyre will in fact be losing his WWE Championship on the upcoming first 2021 episode of Monday Night Raw, titled Raw Legends Night. As many of you are likely aware, Drew McIntyre is scheduled to defend his WWE Championship against Keith Lee in the main event of Raw this coming week, and while there is always a chance that Keith Lee could shock the world and win the WWE title from Drew McIntyre, a new leaked behind-the-scenes rumor has revealed that a very likely scenario that will play out after Drew McIntyre retains his WWE title against Keith Lee in a hard-fought match is The Miz finally getting his timing right and cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Drew McIntyre that he was given back last week on Raw by Adam Pearce, and win the WWE title from Drew McIntyre with a bit of help from John Morrison. We have been told that The Miz getting his Money in the Bank briefcase back was no random decision, and Vince feels a shock title change on Raw this coming week could be what the WWE needs to boost Raw's ratings moving forward in 2021, due to the unpredictability that is possible to happen on the show.